Hi YouTube, this is Keisha in Monterey, California. I am the Goodbye Girl VSG. This is week 21 for me in my updates. I had surgery August 29th, 2016 in Monterey, California with Dr. Chang. I weighed in at 292.2 and then the day of my surgery I was at 290, and today I am still at 239. I have spoken in my last couple of videos about how I've been stalled since Thanksgiving, and I've been, kind of bouncing up and down between 237 and 240, and it's been like 2 months now, so it's really getting super irritating, but that's not my message today. My message is that I just wanted to report that I spoke to my doctor, that I was concerned about my weight loss and that I had been stalling, and so he said, come in before you move, let's see each other, because I hadn't seen him since my surgery, and I got to see an x-ray of my sleeve, so that was really cool. And not to just see a sleeve, but to see your own stomach is pretty great. It was really one of the highlights of my new year. So I drank this stuff called barium, and it makes your stomach, or what, it basically makes your stomach light up, like turns white, and so you can see it in the x-ray. And it did not look like a perfect little banana like I sort of thought it was going to. Let me see if I can do this while I hold this. It kind of looked like, sorry, I'm kind of trying to find my finger here. It looked about like the size of my finger to me, and maybe a little bit bigger in real life than your finger, but like the way my finger looks right now, that's kind of how it looked. And it was sort of curved down, but it looked almost like a little bit branchy. In other words, it wasn't all smooth, and it didn't look like as smooth as like my stomach did. It looked a little bit kind of rougher on the sides, but anyway, it was cool, and it was very small, so it was great to know that my sleeve is normal. My doctor said I'm actually really lucky, even though it doesn't feel like it, to not be losing weight. He said, you haven't had any diarrhea, you haven't had constipation, you haven't had, bad, throwing up or problems eating or problems drinking. And he just said, basically, I haven't had any complications, and that should be a good thing. And that he thought that, I was doing well, and, that I lost 50 pounds, and that was really good, because it's, been like 5 months, and I made the point, like, yes, but I lost 50 pounds like in November, and so the last 2 months to not really lose any more than like 4 pounds and bounce up and down is really, making me feel bad, like, and am I eating too much? And he said, look, he goes, don't, it's not just calories in and calories out. You're responsible for, of course, keeping an eye on things and logging your food and all that stuff, and we're not supposed to go crazy. He said, am I looking for hard signals in my hunger? And I said, yeah, kind of. And he said, well, don't do that. Basically some days you will feel the hard signals and some days you won't. So, when you're weighing and measuring your food, you are basically just trying to keep a good portion. And he said, sometimes you're just not going to have that super full feeling, but just to stop eating when when your hunger is satiated, and that doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to feel full, you just won't feel hungry. So that was good to sort of know that it was okay to not feel like I was getting full. And he said also, if I felt like I was, eating too much, like if I was eating 4 ounces of food, or, like 5 ounces of protein at some meals instead of 3, not to sweat it. He said, as long as you're eating, healthy vegetables, fruit, real protein sources, and not packaged food, and not, restaurant food and stuff. He said, you should just listen to your body, stop eating when your hunger, subsides. And if that's 5 ounces for you, then it's 5 ounces for you, but that's fine. And he said, and he thinks that 1,100 calories a day is great, even up to 1,200 if I'm working out. I've actually taken it back down to about 800, 900 again, trying to keep it lower, just to see if I can tweak my weight loss a little bit. But he did say, that I was doing fine, and basically that obesity is a disease, which I know, but he said basically some people just have it worse than other people. So in other words, like, I said, well, what do you mean, like, worse? And he said, well, like some people are bordering on diabetes and they've got insulin resistance, and, they're pre-diabetic and their levels are higher. And he said, maybe you just had higher levels of insulin resistance and you're still struggling with your insulin or your hormones. He just said everyone's body responds differently. and not everyone loses, you know, their amount of like their goal weight. He said some people lose like half their goal weight and that's all they ever get. So I hope that's not the case. I literally am banking on the fact that I still have at least 7 months left in the first year and hopefully another, you know, half a year after that. So if I can try and lose at least 5 pounds for the next year, a month, then, you know, I can hopefully get to, you know, at least Wonderland. I think that's my number one goal right now. My first goal is to get down below 200, and then my original goal was to hit 140, but if I can only get to 175, I'm not going to be loving that, but I think that that is a healthier weight that I could say, you know, I got down, you know, over 120 pounds, and I think that that would be pretty good. But I'm still shooting for the 140. So hopefully I can do it. Hopefully this is just a stall, and I hope my doctor's right, but it made me feel a lot better to talk to him and to, you know, see that he was feeling that I was doing well, and also just to say, you know, that he wanted me to basically take away that he had some other patients that were more in my age group that were losing slowly or not losing as much as they wanted. And he said this one girl was even lifting weights like I am. And he said she started getting into powerlifting. And he said she'd almost kind of given up on her weight loss, but then she just enjoyed going to the gym so much that she just started focusing on that. And then she got really into like powerlifting. And he said at first she was afraid that she was going to gain too much muscle, but he just said the weight just started dropping off of her. So he said that in his practice he sees people really, really drop the weight when they, you know, do weight bearing exercise, circuit training, and weightlifting. And he said, not just 3 times a week. He's like, you should try and do it like every day or 5 days a week, and not skip days. And he goes, do cardio if you want. Of course, it's good for you to do cardio. But he said, I see the most people lose the most weight when they are lifting heavy amounts of weight and doing it really regularly. So I guess when I get to LA, I'm going to join a gym and start pushing myself a little bit. I have not been wanting to be sore because of my work, so I have been lifting weights, but my trainers made it so that I'm not super, super sore. So I think that I'm going to take it up a notch when I get to Los Angeles and try and add a little more sweat and intensity to those workouts, and maybe try and do it like 5 days a week instead of 3. So I'm going to drink more water this week. I'm going to really focus on my food logging, because I noticed that ever since I stopped losing weight regularly, that my focus on basically logging my food has really dropped off. It's hard to stay excited about logging food when you feel like it doesn't matter what you eat because nothing works. So I've just been busy and not making it a priority like I was. So I definitely feel that weighing every day is not recommended, but for me it keeps me accountable. And so that, and I feel like, you know, if I weigh myself every day and I log my food, I feel like I'm connected to this journey that I'm still on, and it keeps me connected mentally to the fact that I want to lose weight. And if I don't do it, I feel like I'm just living a normal life, and that weight loss is not my number one focus. So I'm going to try and pull back into those good habits, and I'm going to get in more water. So I've been really struggling with that while packing, and, you know, moving is just a bitch, so it just sucks up a lot of time and getting all my errands done and stuff. So I've been drinking like 33 to 45 ounces of water, but I'm not usually getting in like my 70 ounces or 80 ounces like I would like to. So this week is about water, and it's about food logging, and also just, you know, keeping the diet clean. So I have been also not eating a lot. Like I tend to just have a bulletproof coffee in the morning, like a good fats coffee, and sometimes I put a protein drink, you know, in there, and then I won't eat again until like 2 o'clock, and then I'll have a couple of ounces of turkey meat and have an apple, and then like a little cottage cheese 3 hours later, and then around 7 I'll have dinner, and then I'll have like a chicken breast, or tonight I had a little steak, and I only ate like 3 ounces of that. I've actually, my hunger's been pretty low lately, and I had some leafy green vegetables today, but I didn't eat a lot of them. So, and then for dessert I had some Fage yogurt, and I did mix in a little bit of sugar-free jam into that, and that was pretty good. So anyway, I feel like my diet's still pretty good, but there's always room for improvement. So I hope next week when I see you, this may be our last video in this room, my office where I make all my videos. I know you guys are probably dying for a change of scenery, and next week I will make a video for my new apartment in Los Angeles, so that'll be kind of fun. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you in a new town, in a new frame of mind, and a new weight category, hopefully next week. So thank you everybody for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for supporting. You guys are the best. I'm so thankful for my surgery, for being less. Even if I didn't lose weight, I am so happy to be so much less motivated by food, and I think about food a lot less, and I'm just not so driven by it, and it feels really good to be free of that addiction that I feel like I used to have. So, and I also feel like I have a community of people that, you know, care about me and I care about them, and you know, just being in this weight loss community with you guys on YouTube is really meaningful. So thank you to everybody that's been so nice, and for all my new subscribers. So I'm sorry, I'm always wearing black, I'm always in this office. I feel like I just am not very interesting. One of these days I'm going to start wearing color when I get some new clothes. Can you guys believe this, by the way? I have not had to get any new clothes yet. I've lost, I think like 56 pounds altogether, and I'm still wearing my same clothes. Same bra, same everything. I think the only thing that shrunk really is my feet. So my bra's gotten a little bit big, but still it's not really, I don't have to get another one yet. So hopefully if I can lose another 10 or 15 pounds, then I will need to lose some of these black dents that I've got and get something new. So anyway, signing off, and I will see you next week in LA. Have a wonderful week. Stay dry, stay warm, and stay motivated. Take care. Bye-bye.